Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Difficult to Please podcast. I'm Erwin.
And this is JV.
This is season 2, episode 8.
Episode 8, yeah. 8.
Yeah.
We almost there. Last Jedi.
This is, we called this on our notes, rap is pop.
Or, yeah, rap is pop or hip-hop as pop. Yeah, one of the two. We'll flip a coin at the end.
It'll coincide somehow, some way.
It'll work. We'll make it work. We gotta squeeze that square into the circle hole.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more consistent. There's some big news on the horizon. Not gonna drop it right now.
Oh, okay. I was like,
there's some things in the works, but can't say it right now.
All right. I mean, I don't think it's that bomb-like, but yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it could be.
It could be.
Could be. You gotta stay to listen for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Join with us. We'll drop it in.
Yeah, so we're at episode 8. I mean, we have maybe 2 more episodes left.
We can totally stretch it
2
out.
plus.
Yeah, we could stretch it. Now that I'm no longer in school because I finished. Yeah, you're slow at that.
Because what did you end up finishing your degree program with?
I finished in healthcare.
Flex on them.
Healthcare administration. It's kind of like business administration, but more focused on health.
So is that grounds for a pay raise negotiation?
I don't think it's pay raise negotiation.
No.
I don't want to push it with like nonprofits and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because everyone's like asking me the moment I finish, like, are you gonna leave? Like, I'm like, no, not yet. There's some things I need to build up on like my resume first before I want to do that. And Sharp can offer me some of that, so I will stick with it for maybe a year plus, and then I will decide from there.
Well, it's good that at least your workplace is investing in your education and furthering your career path.
I did get denied our scholarship though, so I was kind of like,
I know.
I like,
JV.
You are not a recipient of this scholarship. I'm like, man, butt hurt.
It's all. I wrote JV a letter of rec, and I'm like, I don't have a place of business. I think I might have put difficult to please. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
On the letterhead. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
I didn't read it.
I put my home address.
Nice.
Very nice. Shit. Should get into it, or we
Drop in?
got anything to catch up on since the last episode? Gay trees,
Gay trees.
racist trees,
Racist trees. Things to follow up on that one.
terms of service, Facebook, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson.
There's nothing that really happens other than Facebook is going on in another.
Nah.
They're just. Yeah, nothing really. Facebook isn't really.
Yeah, that.
There's like what they're getting slammed again. That's about it. But it's It's like every other.
I guess the only thing in current events and news is the Mueller report released.
Which I am listening to. I'm on the second volume right now.
Like someone is reading it to you.
Yeah, so someone's reading the Mueller report to me, right?
Fuck, that sounds so boring,
okay,
dude.
but Audible is doing it. You can get it with your free.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
right.
we have an Audible thing, so I was gonna save it for that, but but I am reading it on Audible. Audible put it out for free. That's why.
Yeah.
So you can actually read. So someone will read you the Mueller report.
Oh.
And I
fucking
skipped.
fascinating.
Yeah, I skipped the collusion.
Okay.
And I went straight to the obstruction of justice, and it's freaking fascinating.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah. It's super nuts how much shit he has on, like, so many things. And there's, like, so many, like, the wording was so precise. It's kind of like, you definitely need someone who understands law to, like, be like, oh, okay, that's why all these people are pursuing, like, impeachment hearings. Because it's kind of like, if you studied law, I think you would have a better understanding of what he's trying to say.
Yeah, like what was it, like last week or the other week when they were pushing to get the Mueller report out into the public. I checked out, man. I'm like, that's what's the end game here?
It's a big stretch, in my opinion. It's a big reach. I think they're trying to grasp at anything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well worth it too, but they're really trying to grab it. It's part of it's kind of like I feel bad for the senators who are kind of like the ones who are running for president. They have to like kind of think about it, like, oh, did we push this or did we just focus on a campaign? In my opinion, I think they should just focus on a campaign because Bernie Sanders like said something really profound at the CNN town meeting. He said like, well, if we keep talking about Trump and impeachment, it's gonna only work in his favor. So let's just like let the House do it first and let us focus on our our running.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Let the system, let the people and let the law like take its course. Don't push it. But there's a bunch of shady shit in there, so it's pretty fucking interesting. Yeah.
I was watching a Trevor Noah clip today, and kind of in a nutshell, he explained this whole thing of like, well, it's like if a kid ate cookies. Or no, he's in cookies.
If a kid ate his cookies, or if he didn't eat the cookies, and the mom's asking, "Did you eat the cookies?" and he's like, "No, I didn't eat the cookies," but he's still blocking the door.
Yeah,
she's like, "Why are you blocking the door?" I was like, "Because I didn't eat the cookies." I mean, what are you talking about?
I was like, oh, that's a really good way to dumb it down.
That is a very good way to dumb it down.
Because I'm like, I'm not gonna invest in fucking time. I'll just wait.
Yeah, because there was he did also said in a feature segment that someone got arrested for resisting being arrested.
Yes.
And then it's kind of like, so what was the original crime? It's like nothing. He just resisted arrest. And it's kind of like...
No, but what was the crime? Resisting arrest.
Resisting arrest. Like, okay, what was what was the original one? It's like, nothing. He was just...
Yeah, that was kind of I was like, oh, that's true. That's pretty stupid, too.
Speaking of pop culture...
Pop culture. Let's just jump
into it.
So when talking and doing all the research about whether or not hip hop is pop culture or the driver of pop culture currently, and this goes back to our previous episode of BTS is youth culture, right?
Mm-hmm. Which they also incorporate hip hop into their stuff.
And to add upon that, it's like, Blackpink also just performed at fucking Coachella both weekends.
Oh man.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like it was the first K-pop group, right? Mm-hmm. To be on the set list for Coachella.
I wonder how that went out. Like, I'm super curious how that went out because I'm like, for me, if I can't really see Blackpink performing too well on it, but I could see BTS doing it really well.
Yeah, call in 570-1933. Tell us what you thought. Caller 9.
Caller 9. Blackpink was garbage. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean...
I do like Lisa from Blackpink. Just put it out there. All right, peace. Well, she's the only Thai person in Blackpink. She's not Korean.
Oh, was she the rapper? No.
She's the rapper.
She is the rapper.
She's one of the rappers, yeah.
Okay.
She's the only one who kind of looks a little different from the rest.
So going back to like K-pop and what music does to drive culture and youth culture specifically, and we're talking about it in this kind of perspective, is that for now, like Drake, I'm using Drake as the example because Drake is
he is the icon.
Yeah, he's the one who is getting all the streams. He has a show on Beats One Radio on Apple, and he leads all the streams on fucking Spotify. So it's like it's easy to kind of put him as the one that drives culture and youth culture and especially pop.
Right, but then you can also say from around the world too that hip hop's always been a part of pop music. Like, for example, you got M-Flow in like the early 2000s. You had early K-pop and J-pop that also always incorporated like rap, rapping. Then you had the Red Hot Chili Peppers too, who incorporated rap into like rock music kind of thing. And then you had like Aerosmith and Run DMC, which is the classic.
Yeah. And then Linkin Park.
And then Linkin Park, which is our gen.
But yeah, I mean, and we come at it with this kind of perspective. I mean, we both have our own takes, but it's just a matter of because I know I feel like this is an episode we might get heat from. I don't want to say he, but like pushback, and Rona did bring up like there's gonna be people out there that have like really strong opinions
it's
pop culture and
it's
hip-hop.
gonna be the purist for sure. Like it's definitely gonna rub purists the wrong way for sure. So what our goal for this podcast, this episode today is kind of like, yeah, we understand like why the purists are upset, but you can't take away that it's integrated into pop culture.
Yeah,
just like every other movement was kind of like integrated into it, like rock, like when rock music was into it, like, and then you had punk, like the whole punk scene, and then like you had pop punk, which is like like Blink-182, Green Day, and Sum 41 and whatnot. Like that took away from like the Clash and like the other like super like anti-government rock bands and stuff like that. Like it happens.
Like Brit punk.
Yeah, and it happens, and it sucks. Like while like I sit here thinking like I will never listen to Drake and stuff like that. Like I don't, but it's kind of like, well, I accepted like this is music now. This is pop culture now, and like while I still like the scratching, the DJ scratching and all that, and like the turntables.
Yeah.
Like it has its place. Like I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, you're outdated, but it's its own art. It's still hip hop. It's still like a foundation of hip hop. It's just.
What do you want to say?
Well, I want to say like straight out, like no one gives a fuck. Sorry, purists. Like they don't. Like normal people don't give a fuck that what the culture is.
What, like, are you saying like what the culture was?
Yeah, they don't care about
its roots.
Yeah, they don't care about what like the hip hop roots were. They don't care about like the inner city struggle. They don't care about like the street life. They don't care about any of that. They just want to drink. What's that drink they all do? Like purple.
Drink lean.
Yeah, lean and shit. Like it sucks. It feels super like horrible and ratchet, but. This is what it is. Like the reason why I say like hip hop is now pop culture is because it's integrated into like different genres.
Yes.
Like EDM, it's in there. You had Pitbull. Like, would you ever consider Pitbull like hip hop at that time?
Sure.
Before he started doing.
I mean, he's always
LSDJ samples and stuff like that.
He's always like played into the dance scene. He's very like party music.
Okay, so yeah,
but it's fine. I mean, like what he was doing was rapping, and what he was doing was.
Well, yeah, and you could if you really want to break it down from way back then, you could say that West Coast hip hop kind of like ruined hip hop at that time. That's why the whole West Coast East Coast feud thing was happening. It's like. And then you had 2000s. Like, would you say Eminem was like the one who kind of like started getting the ball rolling? And then you had like the party crunk music, and then all like escalated to what it is now, to the trap beats and whatnot. And then like and then you have like Lil Nas X. That's that whole like controversy about if he's country music with rap music. Mm-hmm. But then because, someone's saying like, oh, it's because of his race, it's not considered country. But if you want to go back to like, there's a song called Mean to Be by Beba Rexha that uses a trap beat and then it uses like a hip hop beat. Yeah. So, but is that still considered?
Oh, the one, the one from the episode of the Vox episode.
Yeah. So yeah, this is
what it's meant to be.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so that's still considered country, but that has a lot of hip hop elements into it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the medium of what hip hop is now, of like a lot of trap beats and the way that it's being stylized, does bleed into samples too. Yeah, it bleeds into other genres. So that's why it's so easy that hip hop rap is pop culture, because fucking Ariana Grande was, she's doing shit with Future. There's other pop country artists that have adapted these kind of hip hop elements of like drum beats and, definitely instrumentation that helps it like try appeal to a broader base. And then going back to it, it's like, going back to the roots of like what hip hop is. Yeah, it's different now, but like if you read interviews with different artists from the last 5-10 years, like a Vince Staples, like no one gives a fuck, like they will echo your statement of like, well, we don't make music for the old heads. We make music for us and like our friends.
Right.
And like whatever music they're into, it's not necessarily the same people that you're gonna listen to.
Right.
It's like that golden age versus like
Now.
what it is now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
Like there's like I've always had this kind of like assumption like, yeah, there's always gonna be Common, Talib, Mos, and then you're gonna have other people rapping, but then it's like how long has it been since like, or when's the last time, let's say fucking Vince, no, I don't want to say Vince, like Lil Nas X was the last time he listened to Common, Mos, or fucking Talib.
I doubt any.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like,
Lil Yachty doesn't really listen to him too. Yeah, like the new 20-year-olds don't. They haven't really listened to like Biggie or Pac or anything like that too. Or
yeah,
even stuff from before
and
that.
there's obviously some people that kind of transcend that mentality, like J. Cole, Kendrick, J Rock, Reptar.
But yeah, there are some people who are still going to keep it like
Yeah.
very, very roots-ish. And I mean, you can't really knock on them or anything. I think J. Cole and Kendrick have been doing a good job with keeping up with like what's like, I don't want to say authentic, but close to like what is that?
What?
Roots. And, like they keep it really close to the roots. They keep hip hop really close to its roots while promoting like different types of like beat styles and stuff like that. It's no longer the boom bap like samples and stuff like that. It's totally evolved.
Totally
Yeah,
evolved,
it's evolved.
into its own thing, and it's just like at this moment in time. I mean, when it comes to hip hop and the way I see it, it's like it's just gonna let it. It's going to like evolve on its own without you, even if you touch it or try and drive it in a direction. And there's moments where, you know, folks who have influence that can kind of drive them in a direction.
You'll have those people who still keep it pretty roots. It's like you'll have your what's his name, the one that did the Suicide Hotline song.
Logic,
yeah, you will still have like Logic, Joey Badass, J. Cole, like, and you'll have like other people behind them who will also start promoting stuff like that too.
Yeah, and there's like another generation after them that they will kind of go up,
right,
and take up on their whatever.
And you'll always have your popish.
Oh, for sure, the people that are out there just to make the money off their music. That's fine too, and that's fine.
That is completely fine. Do you think that the direction it's going, that the direction that hip hop is going, is going to be like so far out there that like the people who are into it don't understand like what it's about?
Okay, no, actually, it was like a different direction. I mean, that's a good point, but it's more like, well, going back to like the whole Drake argument, because I know I was just reading all up on Drake and shit about pop culture, right?
Okay,
is that like, is Drake one of these like few figures that is writing this rap is pop culture, and then we won't see another person like that for a really long time? Because like obviously like there's a lot of people who admire Kendrick, but Kendrick's music is not the same as Drake's.
Correct.
You know, because like Drake, ever since he came out with So Far Gone, it's like he's always had pop and R&B and rap at this kind of like influence. That's why he sings and shit. Like that's the controversy that brought him onto the scene. Like,
right,
he's not a rapper, he's just fucking singing.
Right. So
it's like, and like, is there gonna be another one off this new wave of people who are like,
they just gotta auto-tune it, and
you know what I'm saying? So is it gonna be like, what I guess I'm trying to say is Lil Nas X or anybody in this next generation going to have that big crossover appeal to pop mainstream culture? Because that's the thing. It's like a lot of people recognize Drake for his pop and mainstream culture.
Right. That is a good question. I don't know. Because like, who are like the newer rappers right now that's not?
Because like
Lil Yachty, Kodak Black. I mean, I like Super Duper Kyle, but I think he's not as popular as the rest of them. But
I've grown to like 21 Savage.
I'm still trying to. I'm still trying. I can't. I'm still trying, but I can't. At the moment, I cannot. So I think his rhyming style's so bad.
It's because it sounds so offbeat. Yes, I totally understand. It sounds so offbeat.
I know what he's trying to say. It's like good lyrically, like it's very street.
But the delivery is off-putting.
So
it's very off-putting. I get it.
Like that song a lot with him and J. Cole. I just could not get into it. A lot. I'm like, the words before that like don't rhyme though. Like, I mean, like Lupe did that better. Like Lupe could like do that same delivery, but he'll make it like rhyme better.
Who brought it up the other week? We were talking about Lupe Fiasco, and I was like, yeah, man. After Food and Liquor 2, like he just dropped the fuck off, man. Like he just didn't make good music.
He totally went on like a
he just
like,
stopped making
woke,
good music.
Woke,
like it's too woke.
It's too woke. Yeah, his music went way too woke.
I mean, that might be another podcast episode. I don't want to get into deep, but
too woke. Yeah. We'll talk about that next. That's my argument. Like I hate that shit. Well, anyways, so okay, let's take that. Like, okay, so musically, we can accept. Like, okay, it's now being integrated into part of pop music. Like,
yeah, because
it's just
like
everywhere.
Because is Drake more of a rapper or is he more of just a pop star? Because I think he's just a pop star.
I think he's a pop star for sure. I think he's definitely a pop star that can rap. That's like saying Justin
Bieber.
The fuck? Justin Bieber raps? He did on that one like Westwood video clip. Well, anyways, no, but yeah, I would consider him more of a pop star because like it's like saying the lead singer from Red Hot Chili Peppers is a rapper. He's not. He just uses rap. Like it's a tool for him to use. It's fine. He does it decently well. Like Drake uses rap.
It's like Limp Bizkit. Like, do you remember Limp Bizkit as a rapper or a rock band or a fucking rock? Red Durst.
Yeah, that's a rock band. That's a heavy rock band to me. But he raps. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he does rap.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Drake is a pop idol, but using rap and hip hop like elements to it, and I think that's fine. But if you were to tell me like, is Drake like a good rapper? I'm like, no, Drake is a garbage rapper. But he makes good music.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He makes really good popular music using hip hop and rap elements.
Yes.
And that's fine.
Yes.
I think what pisses purists off is because it's so close to home. And also probably people will say like Drake's the best rapper in the world. And people are like, what the fuck? No, he's not. Like I think that would like get pure super lit.
Yeah, I totally understand. But yeah, Drake does not make fucking lines that fucking
or he doesn't push like
yeah,
he doesn't push like social issues or anything like that.
No, and that's
push heartbreaks, which is really good. I like that.
Oh my! But he's like, that's like at this point in time, do we think that Kanye West is a pop star or a rapper? It's like almost the same argument.
No, because Kanye's roots were different though. Kanye has always been a part of like he was before anyone knew Kanye he was already on like the Blueprint.
You're right.
Yeah, he was already on the Blueprint. He was a producer. He was doing rap stuff already, and like what do you call that? College Dropout was a hip hop rap album. Was just samples and Kanye beats and rapping. Like it was good. Like that was that, and B were like, and Commons B were like the transition into like this is now going to be like super pop. Like pop is heading toward a different direction kind of thing. You know, I think Kanye is one of the first people to like finally get it out, like to incorporate like the old school to the new school kind of thing.
Okay, I'll give you that because I mean 808 and Heartbreaks was definitely not a fucking rap album, dude.
No, it was not. It had rap elements,
and that's the thing. It's like I hated that album, but there are interview.
You loved it. No, you like dark
I-
fantasy. You like
mine
dark
too is
fantasy.
dark fantasy because that was to me that was a really good rap album and just hip hop. But yeah, I mean, if you look at what 808s and Heartbreak did for like the culture, there wouldn't be Cudi, there wouldn't be Donald Glover, Childish Gambino,
Right.
because of the way that Kanye approached that album. I mean,
Yeah.
I obviously fucking hated it, and a lot of fucking purists hated that album.
Right, because
Because
like,
it
this
was-
is not boom
it was
bap.
fucking-
This isn't samples.
It's
It was
fucking
like,
trash.
yeah. I mean, I like 808 and Heartbreaks. I think it was a good, as an artistic piece, it was really good. But as
fair.
a rap album, it's
Fair.
hard to say.
No, that's
yeah.
totally fair. Just like when I straight up defend my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy as like my favorite Kanye album, they're like, no way, like
Why
college.
not College Dropout? Yeah.
I was like, no, dude, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was like the fucking best. That's like,
and you can also
That's
use that like argument with Donald Glover too. He's like, okay, is his R&B album like, does that still make him a rapper kind of? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Which is an amazing album, by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah.
yeah. Did you see Guava Island, by the way?
I have not seen it.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's-
talking about it.
It's fun. I don't want to say fun, but it's like an interesting kind of like experience of like a short. I don't want to say short, but like an hour-long musical. But it's not like songs.
Was it done at Coachella or no? Like, why am I hearing it during like Coachella's time?
Oh, because during the first weekend of Coachella, he released the video on YouTube. So like 2 weekends ago. So I mean, it's a narrative that has a lot of musical, like they break out in song and shit. So it's pretty cool.
Is it an R&B kind of thing, or is it hip hop?
No, it's definitely Donald Glover. It's both.
It's hard to tell.
No,
because
'cause-
Donald Glover is like an artist. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how to classify him.
Well, because like whatchamacallit, like he's
a good
He
musician.
performed in the film, This Is America, and he also did that Summertime Magic song,
Right.
And one of the other ones from the Soul album. I don't know what the name of
I
it.
forgot
Awaken.
Awaken My Love or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah. I was like, I don't remember what the album's called.
I was like, the one with the face.
The one with the face. I know that. Okay, so we'll take so music. Like we can. Okay, we'll just come to the conclusion. Like, yeah, this is how music is. So going back now, like let's take other like aspects of it. How hip hop has influenced other parts of like our pop culture, and the biggest one is going to be fashion and
Oh yeah, for sure.
the quote unquote streetwear. Streetwear and like how it evolved from like the 80s and 90s into now, which is like pretty amazing. Like now would you say it's like
Yes.
super manufactured and commercialized and stuff like
Yes.
that? Like Hassan Minaj put it the best is like, if Jonah Hill can do that, it's that like street fashion is like on a new different level, and that's not on Jonah Hill.
No, it's in. I was talking about this with JV in the preparation for this episode. Is that, yeah, I mean, there's obviously a tie-in and a correlation to like what Supreme is now, 2019, what it's been for like the last maybe.
Like in the 90s when they first opened up in
Yeah,
Japan, or 2000s when they first opened in Japan.
Coincidentally, yeah, the 25th year anniversary of Supreme, 1994.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like this skate company that was just doing its thing, just like if there was like Epic or like,
like,
Willie's Workshop and shit.
Right. So like, okay, Supreme was the East Coast to what Stussy was in the West Coast, right? Pretty much.
In fashion and a lot
they
of
were
lore,
skate,
yes.
surfer, lore thing. All right, this is the origin story. A bunch of
This is
surfers
the-
and skaters came around and started like,
So like the random folks in
where do you skate in New York? I mean, where do you surf in New York?
you don't.
You don't. Yeah, that's definitely like a Stussy kind of thing. So, yeah. So back then, that was definitely. Okay, let's go in America first, because I think Japan totally took
Japan
it
and
to a
Hong
different
Kong.
direction. Yeah.
Shout out to Sifu Eugene Can.
Oh damn. Nice. A shout out to
Are all
Hiroshi Fujiwara.
all our overseas listeners, all three of you?
Hell yeah. You know what we're talking about.
Anyways, go on.
But yeah, in America, like, it was always so for me, like, when I think of street fashion, it's always about, like, who you identified yourself with and, like, what you did, right? And back then, it was, like, the subculture was pop. That's why, like, I feel like hip-hop and, like, punk rock got along so well. Because there were two subcultures, right? And they kind of, like, blended styles a little bit. And I think, like, the first time, like, you would actually see, like, a premium, quote unquote, premium, like, street style is when someone got, like,
Featured in Street Check.
okay, not street. I'm not going there yet. But the moment you felt someone went premium is when someone wore, like, a Nautica jacket with, like, Levi's or something like that, or Dickies, or, like, something, like, super, like, high class versus, and pairing it with something, like, ubiquitous.
Yes.
Right. So, and then, like, and these subcultures, like, people started doing, like, yeah, this is good. Like, we're outsiders. We're not mainstream, you know. Like, I'm not wearing Ralph Lauren or anything.
And
I'm
then
wearing,
25 years later, it's like the subculture has become mainstream.
and the subculture has
So like
mainstream.
and the many episodes that we talk about streetwear, like the things you wear will for sure like signify, and you're playing part of like the uniform of like what culture you identify with, right?
Right.
So like if you're a hip hopper, you're gonna wear like
it was FUBU.
Like FUBU, you're gonna wear your 555 Soul or fucking
Echo.
Yeah.
Did they wear Echo?
Yes.
Okay.
Then like you're gonna wear these things to signify you're part of the culture.
Right. You're gonna wear Wu-Tang beanies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
but now it's like
it's kind of blended a little bit.
Yeah, and you can obviously kind of credit Instagram because of the spread of culture through social media,
without
right?
a doubt. Yeah.
So it's like the cat and mouse of like subculture and mainstream culture, and kind of like
it happened.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen,
and that's where we're at with hip hop right now.
Right, and that's how much hip hop has influenced like fashion wear, and that's how influenced like quote unquote streetwear. Because streetwear takes like different forms, but it's definitely related. It's pretty related to hip hop culture.
So here's my Supreme rant for this episode.
Go ahead.
So I was gonna say tomorrow, but tomorrow's Wednesday. But on Thursday of this week, Supreme is releasing a collaboration with Swarovski Diamonds.
Okay.
Because it's their 25th anniversary, so they're doing something special. So their rumors are that they're gonna make a box logo T-shirt with diamonds.
Fuck that. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so fucking stupid because, like, Supreme has so much cachet and culture now in 2019 just because of fucking rappers wearing it. Like, you saw fucking A$AP Rocky wear the Supreme Louis Vuitton shirt and all the whole Supreme Louis Vuitton outfit in Paris a couple years ago, and it's like that's that moment where you have the fucking like this subculture of skate, New York style, and you know this New York streetwear from the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, boom, it's mainstream. That's why fucking kids, you know, teenagers want to buy Supreme
because they want to fill up there.
Yeah, like shit, man.
Okay, so
Supreme.
Okay, but the thing about Supreme too is that you got to think about their CEO. Their CEO does not dress like their fashion line.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah, so that's a weird disconnect.
Jens Jebbia?
Yeah. So that's a weird disconnect, but I can't hate on him because he's making good business choices. Like, Supreme has always been that brand that's sold out. Like, that's their
business of fight, man.
Yeah, their business model is really, really good.
Because it's so good that it's stupid.
It's so good that it's stupid, and I think like the aftermarket makes more money than the actual company itself.
Without a doubt, man.
Yeah,
but then that makes like the brand equity so fucking high.
I mean, it's $1 billion company, right? I think it's reaching $1 billion right now.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
But so just to drop some weird stuff on it, like what Supreme is kind of goes against what street fashion was like not about. Street fashion was for the people who couldn't afford it. Street fashion was like about like the non-bourgeoisie like class.
Okay.
But then now it's kind of getting that way. Okay, it's a $7 hoodie now. It's like, well, I can't afford that. Like the normal street person cannot afford that.
Yeah.
So that's where I think like then when like Virgil comes in with Off-White, that is like the first legit street high-end brand. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Louis Vuitton of like high fashion, because technically Louis Vuitton is at the bottom spectrum of high fashion compared to other brands that are worth way more than Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean.
But you see how Louis Vuitton's so popular because it's still affordable compared to other
luxury brands.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So this is what Supreme is. This is what Off-White is compared to like the hundreds or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a
way
different market, and there's a different. Yeah, it's like the different signifiers because of the price points.
Right. And if you go back to, pull up some like business knowledge, but
Go ahead.
one of the things, the reason why people buy into products is one, it's either to promote status, two, it's to like make their life more convenient.
Ah, fuck capitalism.
Yeah, that's capitalism, and you can sell anything if it's based on making people feel good, and this is the reason why Supreme works so well, because they collaborate with high end people, and by having those high end people like make you go like, yeah, I want that too. You know what I mean? Making the kids like want that. People got to buy into that because they want to feel like Kanye. They want to feel like A$AP Rocky. And all
But
that.
at the end of the day, fuck it, because I'm just copping Uniqlo. Hey.
They all gonna get woke in the future. Don't worry, man. Like when they all turn 30, they'd be like, I'm gonna show up at Uniqlo.
But did you?
I like solids.
On a side note, did you see that Uniqlo is dropping a
Marvel.
a collection with I don't want to say Disney. Well, no, with
Marvel.
Star Wars.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
With Jun Takahashi.
No way.
Nigo, and I mean, obviously Nigo's already
Yeah.
part of the Uniqlo like
I'll rant about
team.
that next.
But like,
Jun
and the guy,
Takahashi's on it.
yeah, Jun Takahashi, and then Jun Takahashi of Undercover,
Undercover, yes.
and then the other guy from WTAPS.
Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So they announced that they're gonna have a collection coming up this summer.
Those guys, all of them were good at collaborating
Yeah.
with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fucking Nigo.
See, that's what I'm saying is like but like even right now, like when you go to Uniqlo, just talking about the commerce of hype, like t-shirts are $15 for legit like artist fucking graphic tees.
Big example, Cause.
Cause I have
Yeah.
fucking like 3 pieces of it. Cause shit.
Yeah,
For
and it was-
$15.
And I still have one of his original fake shirts that I bought for $85 when I was in Irvine.
Yeah, and there was no fucking original fake anymore.
Right, there's no more. So I'm still holding on to that shirt. But the fact that like he's okay, so let me get back on this. So what's crazy about like streetwear is that someone like Nigo, who is like one of like the biggest icons of streetwear,
Yes.
is now working with an accessible brand like Uniqlo.
Yes.
He is the creative director of like Uniqlo's collaboration pieces
Yes.
and stuff like that. That's fucking genius. Like that's what's so like mind blowing about it for me, because I'm like, well, he's spreading out to like the masses, and like
Yeah.
that kind of goes against what streetwear was about in the first place.
Yeah, it's you're right. This
Like
is
Hiroshi
yeah.
Fujiwara like said
Really-
like called him out,
really
and I was
weird
like
fucking-
why are you making it for the masses? Like streetwear is about the culture. It's about keeping it tight knit. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Yeah, and in streetwear, like hip hop, like punk, like skate, it's in this cat and mouse with mainstream culture, because
it's always going to be. Yeah.
it like in the run up in the conversations to this episode, me and JV were saying how like, you know, when you have a generation like ours that was really into a lot of things growing up.
The 90s is the golden generation of any culture. I'll tell you that right now.
Because
any culture.
It was like we were saying how like okay, like we were into hip hop, we were into skate. Some of us surfed on the West Coast, definitely. Yeah, Ryan surfed.
Rizzo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
the Renaissance man of
yeah, and then
culture.
there was, and then oh shit, you got me fucked up on my head.
And then there was
oh no, and then it was, and then when it comes to just like the stuff you liked, it was like we listened to a lot of music. Like, we listened to pop punk, we listened to hip hop, we listened to
Aqua.
We listened to shitty pop music.
Share.
Random shit from the internets, right? But then it's like you have the youth culture now. It's like it's
Billie Eilish, who's the greatest pop singer.
You know what? Like Billie Eilish is.
I love
actually,
Billie Eilish.
She's actually really good
She's fucking great.
because she's like an artist to the like in the essence of like she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck. That's why I love Billie Eilish.
Because like I appreciate like her songs because it's like for I don't it's an improper comparison, but like when you think of like Florence and the Machine, like like I think of Florence and the Machine, and Florence is like she's a fucking singer, like right? She to me like that's her thing, but she's not necessarily an artist like Billie Eilish.
You know, Billie Eilish also helps produce the beats too, right? She also does the musicality.
Oh,
too.
I didn't know
With
that.
her and her brother do it. Yeah.
Oh.
You should watch the Switch on Popped episode about Billie Eilish.
Hey,
It's fucking
plugging
good.
other people's podcasts.
Hey, sorry, but
We didn't even stop for break.
yeah.
It's like 47 minutes in.
You want to do a break real quick?
No.
Okay.
You want to just say, well, let's just
No, okay, finish your thought about I kind of derailed you.
you fucking derailed me. I was just going to, okay, my thought, just to close it out, and before we go to break, well, we'll do whatever. To close out my thought, I'm just going to say that our generation, we listened to everything. We did everything that we could have access to. And then you have this current generation where it's like the diversity of what they listen to. And this is obviously me fucking sounding like old man. It's like the diversity of what's out there, especially in pop music. It's going to be dictated by like Drake and things that sound like Drake. So it's like, it's that diversity of what you're into and what you listen to that's just missing in the disconnect between generations. And break.
So I like learning about new things, and one of my biggest like intake of information is through audiobooks. And Audible actually has a really big collection of audiobooks. And if you actually go to audibletrial.com/difficult to please, you can start a 30-day free trial. And one of the books I recommend is Josh Kaufman's Personal MBA. And you learn about different concepts in business and how you can apply it everywhere, and that's helped me like understand this week's topic when we talked about like the trend in hip-hop into pop culture and fashion and whatnot, and it like gives me a clear understanding of like, oh, these are good business models, or I can understand why they're trying to do it this way. Again, the link is audibletrial.com/difficult to please. I really recommend this book. I think anyone who like listens to it would really greatly benefit from it.
All right, and we're back.
Thanks to our sponsors, me. I'm just kidding. My long ass rant.
Thanks to our sponsors, the federal tax returns.
Wait, what?
No, like you don't get tax return money.
I got hella tax return money, but
anyways, lame joke. Okay, okay.
Flew over my head. Okay. So earlier we talked about the 90s being like the golden age. Like for me, I love the 90s. I think it was the golden age for everything in pop culture, everything in hip hop, everything in like
anime,
rock,
video games,
anime, anything. It's fucking amazing. Anything, SNES, whatever. I'm not trying to say this to be nostalgic too, and I'll make some like points why. So okay, I want to go back to the fashion scene I love the most, and that's like Japanese like streetwear. And like as much as I love American streetwear, like I never wore like Fubu Echo, whatever.
Right.
I think the most I ever wore was like a Hurley shirt at the time. Well, anyways.
Okay.
So compared to now, in the 90s, like street fashion had like such a different sense. Like earlier I was saying like, oh yeah, it represented who you were and like what you fucked with, right?
Yes.
And then like you had then like someone like Fujiwara went to America, came back and brought hip hop to Japan pretty much. Like he was like he's considered the godfather of like streetwear and like street culture and whatnot. And it's just so crazy how all that's evolved, because Japan's always kept it very they have a revolving door like styles. They have the Forest Girl style, they have like the Harajuku style, the blah blah blah. Like I feel like Japan, Tokyo, like Urahara is like the mecca of like fashion. Like you can try out anything there, and that's gonna be like. And I think that's what happened in America is like they found out, like that's why Supreme and like all the other Western stores like came over there, because they found out like, yeah, like these people are taking like hip hop influences too, and like maybe we can have a market here and whatnot. And like you saw that when like Kanye and Pharrell started like collaborating with Nigo, and that's when you knew for sure like street fashion is now like the bizarre and like kind of outlandish Japanese style, mix it in with like hip hop. That's gonna be the new,
especially with Bape. Nigo's Bape was like the one that kind of like sealed the deal. I don't want to say seal the deal, rather it kind of, that was the gateway brand to like cross over into streetwear.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'll say like Dilla did wear Stussy.
no, and that's fine. Like, but then like Stussy still had their niche. But then I felt like Bape was more global. You know what I mean? Like,
there was a lot of influence
like Kid
from
Cudi,
Bape. Yes,
Kid Cudi wore Bape hoodies. Like a lot of people rapped about wearing like, I got me some bathing Nate.
Yes.
Well, Soulja
like,
Boy, right?
Even that was Soulja Boy. Like if you look
Pharrell did it too.
Yeah, like if you look at old magazines, like old complexes, I remember like there was a lot of ads from LRG at the time that had a lot of hip hop.
That's right.
There was a lot of Roots. There was a lot of
that was Beastie Boys, right? LRG was Beastie, or was it Extra Large?
Extra Large was
Beastie Boys.
Was it MCA or was it?
I forgot who, but yeah, I think that they were closely connected to Beastie Boys.
Yes,
Beastie Boys was really big in Japan too.
Yeah, Extra Large was big in Japan, but definitely LRG was like one of those kind of underground like streetwear brands.
Yeah, I actually like that LRG
because of the amount of advertisements that they were doing with a lot of rappers, and that was like one of the first brands. But then like
Bape,
Bape, when Kanye
and Pharrell
brought it over with, and then the Clips, Pharrell started wearing it. That changed everything, I think.
Yeah, that was like, all right, this is like kind of like the higher brand, because like Bape was always the designer's streetwear kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely a high end.
It was not.
It was like the first Supreme.
Yeah, because no one at the time was it. No normal everyday kid was going to buy a $300 hoodie unless you're
me.
JV, like fucking.
I'm gonna use my Starbucks money to buy 2 Bape hoodies. But we also had Kid Robot at the time. We had Kid Robot. We had Carmelo.
I mean, there was a big, there was definitely big.
They were all following suit after Bape for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
because like at that time, the Holy Trinity was Bape, Stussy, BBC.
Oh yeah,
and then now it's what?
I don't know.
It's Palace, Supreme, and this other one, the one that starts with a K.
Kith?
I think so. I think those are the 3 Trinities right now. Which is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of brand value in all of those, yes.
Supreme never made their own shoes, though. Bapes does. That took from the Air Force One. That was the most gangsterous ass move ever.
Yes.
I never owned a Bapes though, so I don't know.
I think... Well, there was some collabs that are pretty decent. Like the stuff, like the authorized stuff from Adidas and Bape is pretty interesting.
Hell yeah, yeah! They just released another one.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What else did they do? Fucking. I'm blanking out. Fucking
With Adidas or Bape?
Bape.
Bape also did an adult line called Mr. Bathing Ape before that was like the last thing Nigo did before he left.
Before he sold it, right?
Yeah, before he like during that line he tried to do a little bit more adult style. He tried to do a little bit more like United Arrows and Sun kind of style,
gotcha.
where he started like doing suits and ties and stuff like that, and like loafers. I was like, those are pretty sick, but I'm not gonna pay $600 for that.
That's like I know the Swarovski Diamond Supreme is gonna come out. I'm like,
So
I might buy it and flip the shit out of that.
yeah, it's a good market. I would actually buy it and flip it too. I would never wear it. But that's the thing. Like now, is it like people are doing it for the money, or is it to kind of like, you know, like someone like me, like I'm down
Just be
wearing
for
like,
the fucking money, man.
right. That's what I would actually do for it. I would flip it for the money. But then what does that say about the person though? Like, does it say like, oh, Supreme isn't like the brand you rock? It's like the brand you make money off of, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the same thing as fucking like the arguments we've been saying about hip hop and pop. It's like,
It's just
what
how
is
it
that?
is.
Is how it
It's
is.
just how it is now.
Like, if the market is saying, if you buy a Supreme shirt at, let's say, out the door, $50, you're gonna, but that same shirt is gonna resell online or in other stores, consignment is gonna sell for at least $200.
it's a good profit.
Like, fuck, man. That's
Yeah.
easy economics, man.
That's easy
You just have to
economics.
fucking do it.
So okay, what do you say about the kids who will wear like who go to the store, they bought the shirt, like they waited the 6 hours in line to go in there, buy the shirt just to rock it.
That's fine too.
That's fine, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fine too.
But if you were that kid who bought it for $200,
to flip, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's the thing. It's like just the way the other artists and people who come into like music and especially in rap, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have the small fraction of people like a J. Cole, like a Kendrick, like a Joey Badass,
they're still true.
who are true to the art form of what hip hop and rap is. But then you're gonna have like Lil Uzi Vert, you're gonna have Lil Pump, Lil Xan, fucking
Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty, Kyle.
Hey, don't include Kyle in that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're gonna have, and then you can have like these rappers that have like are very
Super duper Kyle.
polarizing, like Drake and Weezy and like
More Drake than Weezy, but yeah.
yeah.
It's hard to classify Drake.
It's like you could
you have to respect Drake and what he's done.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many entry points, and like, yeah, like J. Cole might be the guy who's gonna fucking stand in line for the Supreme Nas shirt, but he's gonna wear it versus somebody like a Little Yachty who's just gonna get in line and just flip it. It's the same shit. It's like the arguments we're fucking making.
Okay.
All around, it's full circle, JB. Full fucking circle.
Which is like a closing. The
thought
internet kind of changed that because, like, in the 90s and early 2000s, we were one of those people who were less accessible to everything around the world. Like,
Okay.
I remember when you bought me the panda hat, you had to actually call Hawaii
Yes.
to like get it ordered.
Yes.
Nowadays, you could do it in a like super like in a click and they'll ship it to you.
Yes.
So, but for us back then, it was you had to wait in front of like 5 and a Dime. You had to wait in front of the
yeah.
Armory in front of and Blends.
What a time.
Yeah, like you actually had to do that.
What a time.
Yeah, you had to do that. So there was like it was a little bit more closed circle with like street fashion back then, but now it's so global. It's like,
Yes.
oh, like I could rock the same shit as anybody else. Like that's not an issue now. But back then it used to be like, yeah, if you want to get original fake, you had to be in Japan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
what
do you-
do you want to say?
So do you think like it kind of lost its authenticity a little bit? Like streetwear is like no longer niche. Like that's why it's so global now. Like everyone has access to it.
Just because everyone follows the hashtag and dresses the same.
Yeah, everyone follows the hashtag, guesses dresses the same, and they all can go.
They all
shop
look
at
like
the
fucking like ninjas, like fucking Jonin.
Ninjas. Like what? Like what?
Jonin,
Oh,
like Kona,
yeah,
Kono
yeah.
Jonin.
Oh my! I thought you were trying to say like some Kinja shit.
No, I mean the internet has changed everything, and
It's made everything closer.
yes, and when you think of like what niche and what the streetwear is, what used to be like this centralized, localized culture, right? Mm-hmm. Has made everything so connected. And I was thinking about this. I think in one of my classes in college, like 10 years ago, was that
Yeah, the San Francisco style is way different from the
yeah,
San Diego
it's like
style.
shit,
It's
man.
crazy.
Then when you think about it, like when you have this global culture, right? If you can game with somebody overseas, or you can exchange ideas because of the internet, it's hard to kind of stand out, right?
Yeah, you're no longer unique. You're just like the people who tried so hard to be like everybody else is now like everybody else now. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's like when you experience Japan, you can be like immersed into it. You can be like, oh shit, like streetwear culture is crazy here because
it's so different.
You got a convergence of like the different like styles, right? Like I followed an Instagram account that documents kind of like the different the styles of like clothing and shit like that, and it's very interesting because like you said, it's like that's very localized, especially to Harajuku, right?
Right,
for
and
what
it
is.
Goes way beyond that too. Like if you say like street style in Japan, it's like, okay, what kind of street style in Japan? Because there's so many.
Yeah. So okay, and then if you think about like what street style, like let's just say like a generic menswear street style, what it is now
in the States.
Yes. Just as a kind of like the default, right?
It has a simple template.
Yeah. Versus, okay, then you look, what does that mean in the UK? What does that mean in Germany and all these other places of like, I don't want to say like traditional fashion leaders or like culture leaders and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like a Milan, like Paris and all these other traditional capitals where, I mean, even now, there's been a movement, especially with like Seoul Fashion Week and, Tokyo Fashion Week and shit like that. So there's definitely difference in what style is, but it's like it's traveling and it's starting to blend in all together.
Right. I agree. I have no thoughts.
Did I answer your question?
No, you did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, man, it was like a really long-winded because
it was a bit long-winded, but I know you're doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like street culture. I mean, yeah.
It doesn't have a face. It's not just. It's not just. Yeah. It's not just a t-shirt, hoodie, and kicks and Japanese denim. You know what I mean? It's not just that anymore. I think that's how it is in America for sure.
Yes.
I think that's how it is. But if you really want to like hit street fashion on a global scale, it's different wherever you go. It's gonna be totally different. And I think Japan's like one of the eyes you look at that. Japan and Paris or Japan and France are the two places you look at if you want to really look at like forward thinking street fashion.
How does that tie back into fucking our original topic?
Hip hop?
Yeah.
Because hip hop's influenced like these markets.
Gotcha.
Come on. I just said like the hoodie, the jeans.
You just have to be fucking explicit sometimes, man. Because I was like, you gotta tell that shit back. Because I know, because fucking full disclosure, in the run up, we're like, well, the streetwear, fashion wear was gonna be a subtopic of the hip hop one. But I'm saying like that's what. Okay, so if we're gonna talk musically, I'm just saying hip hop has penetrated all these different genres, right? Yes. And same with like, and then when hip hop, when it comes to fashion, it's penetrated like the popular wear and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's hit global. Like street fashion plus hip hop is now global kind of thing. And it kind of like the same way with music, like hip hop and rap plus country and all this is now global. Like you can hear it. It's normal. It's the new norm kind of thing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it for today.
All right, it's been episode 8.
Sorry, purists, but it's a new wave.
Got horses in the back.
Horses in the back. Wrangler jeans.
Peace.